Hi, I'm John Harrison. I'm Professor at IBECO PR and Media Studies, and I'm sitting in a fantastic restaurant in Moscow called Chicago Prime. I'm having lunch with Evgenia Lebedeva, who is the PR and marketing manager here. And she also very kindly came to give a lecture to PR and Media Studies students a few weeks ago on how she manages the press and how she promotes this establishment in the community. And it was very, very interesting. So I should like to ask you a couple of questions, if that's all right. And the first one is, how do you use the media now? How do you use the new media and how do you use the old media? What do you use for the new and the old?
I would say to promote the Western, we use all the medias you can think about, but we do it in different proportion and with different purposes.
Yeah.
Like if we will talk about all the media, I would probably say that this is newspapers, magazines, anything what's printed.
Yeah.
I don't think that it has the same effect as it used to. And what we do right now, we advertise our restaurant in a few newspapers. We're doing the ads, but the purpose of doing that is just for the image, because our competitors is also these newspapers.
Right.
So basically, when the customers are reading the newspaper and seeing a few ads about different places, I don't think it's going to make them come to the restaurant, but our image and our brand is going to be more recognizable. If I will talk about media for Russians, and it's in Russian. This is what I just told you about. And if I will talk about the magazines for the expats, it's probably still working, or at least I believe it's still working. And most of the time, this magazine comes together with a website for the people who actually doesn't have time to read the magazine, or it's more convenient for them to use the internet. This is the new way of doing the promotion, advertising, and everything, and it's much more probably effective because of all these gadgets on the market and crazy things what people actually like and just buying that. And when you come to the restaurant, and even if you can see 2 or 3 people sitting at the table, at least one of them is going to use some of his gadgets to check the email, to go to the internet and double check any websites or any information. That's convenient.
You're advertising 3-dimensional objects, that is steak.
Yes.
Food, drink, and in a very, very nice environment. If you're advertising totally in a kind of virtual way, don't you think it's a bit kind of unreal? Because people, after all, want a sort of 3-dimensional experience in a 3-dimensional world. And if it's all online, if it's all electronic, is there a danger that it just becomes, it's too devoid of reality?
That's the reason why we're still using both, and we're doing kind of like a promotion, different things. Like recently we've been sponsoring 2 events. One of them was a golf tournament with the Amcham organization, and another one last Saturday on Musa Motors event. It was a white party who are represented in your car. This is another way, kind of like a promotion, how you get people and you give them to try your product on that kind of event. We've been on the Amcham, we had a free station, food station, and during the golf tournament we've been providing the food to the people who were playing. It was great, and I would say event was on Friday, and right after that event we've got 6 people from that.
Wow.
That's good.
Right.
I mean, it was just about 80 or 70 people who've been playing, and 6 right after the event during the next week. I believe that's a success.
And how do you do it? Sorry to keep on interrupting you. At the event, do you have a banner up there, or?
Yes, we have in the roll-ups our people actually wearing the branded uniform. We always have a promotion girl who is working and communicating with guests. We kind of created like a temporary discount card. This is how I can manage who came from each event, because each card has a number, and when the person came to the restaurant, this person received a 10% discount, and this temporary card actually switched to the regular card, and all this person needs to do is just fill out the application, and I can get the information about this person.
So the internet in a way guides people to a very physical old media event. So it seems that you can't do away with the old media altogether. I mean, they're all traditional things like signs on walls, as in banners, as in T-shirts, as in people saying the name of the company, you know, or a microphone. It's still there. It's always going to be there. But perhaps the signpost to that event, that's what's changing.
Yes.
Not the actual communication, but the signpost to the communication.
This is why I believe to get the success, you have to use everything, the old media, new media, promotion, different kind of events where you can actually talk to the guests. But what I was saying, that I believe that the old media is not working as it used to, because people get to a point that it's either better for them to use the new media as an internet just to find the information and to find the news, and even the critiques, the restaurant critiques can write something and post on any website, so people actually can get different opinions, different feedbacks about this place. Or otherwise, when people can even talk to you, like let's say last event, Wilson Waters. I was planning to do nothing on that event because I had enough people to work on that event, and we did the barbecue. We served 2 different steaks, and we did the bar. We served 3 different kind of martini cocktails. And I had a promotion girl, I had a kitchen staff, bartenders, and everything. And what I was planning to do is just meet the new people who is actually, I need maybe a general manager of the different companies, and that's all. But then we've got to the point that we had a line right on our barbecue station, and people didn't eat anything till our steaks were finished. So basically what I needed to do, what I did, I talked to my server, because he's a great guy, but when you have a line, you have to kind of like communicate with the guest. This is the great opportunity to get people to your restaurant, to your place, to attract them by using personality, by providing the information and a lot of different stuff. So basically, I asked my server to help me out, let's say bring me the clean cutleries, paper napkins, plates and everything, and I've been the one who was serving the food, because I had a great chance to talk to 600 people.
Wow.
And when you're combining all these things, and I've been saying that we're doing it in a different proportion. If we will look like, let's say maybe 6 or 7 years ago, we probably would do more printing advertising in the different, maybe famous magazines, newspapers and everything. And the proportion now, if we will look at the internet promotion, our PR events, our sponsoring thing, whatever we do with our partners, and printed media. Probably for the printed media, we have only 30% or 25% from all our budget. And that's changed a lot if we will compare it with the situation which we had 5 years ago on the market. This is what I'm talking about. And I truly believe that still magazines for the expats is still working, because if I will talk about Chicago Prime Restaurant and even Starlight Diner, our regular customers, it's about maybe in Starlight Diner about 10% it's an expats. And for Chicago Prime it's probably still about 20 to 20%. And that's a lot.
It's a lot.
And the way I can actually provide the information to the expats I still don't have in my regular database, this is the magazines, because it's also based on the communication, and all the PR and marketing things, I believe, it's based on personal relationship.
Unlike advertising, where it's just you can just go to town, you can paint the town red or whatever colour you want, and it still wouldn't be enough. But with PR, you can really easily overdo it, and that overkill could really damage your company's image. You're right.
There is so many examples like I have. It doesn't need to be a restaurant industry. It might be whatever industry on the market we have right now. And if you send, let's say, you had a database about 10,000 people on it, and you can lose it in about 2 weeks. Just send an email every day. You will have 60%, 100%, 60% of this database will unsubscribe because they don't want to receive the same message. They don't want it very often because they receive so much information. And whenever we do something, like let's say today I sent an email to our database that was about presenting our new sport calendar we've got on the website. And we just got it, like I finished with that last Friday. And this is probably something convenient for them, and it's make their life easier when they're planning their, I would say, enjoyable time, because they don't have to call to the restaurant, they don't have to wait for my email about, I don't know, such a great boxing thing. We did the translation recently, Klitschko and Hagen. And right now they can just easily go to the website, open it up and see whatever we're translating in the restaurant.
Fantastic. Your methods, being technical, interpersonal communication, works really well. A, because you are who you are, and secondly, because it's a restaurant. But if you're working for, say, an airline, and you're dealing with a mass audience out there, you know, tens of thousands of people all over the country, not just in one city or one part of a city, would you still use the same methods, do you think?
This is from where it comes from, the new media. All they use is the new media. There is so many people who don't use the travel agencies anymore. There is so many people who's using only the internet, goes to the website of a particular airline company or any other searching. Like we have travel agencies at the internet. Go to Expedia.com or
Infinity.ru.
Yes, or something like that. Everything goes through the internet, and if you're on the database of the airline companies, I understand it's much harder to have a personal relationship probably with your database, because it's a thousands people. Like I do right now, if I send something, I probably 99% after I send an email, I got the response, and during 2 or 3 days, I'm just dealing with my regular customers, answering on the questions, doing the reservation, helping them out to understand what we have, and tons of other questions. Of course, with the airlines company, that's kind of impossible, but probably combining, but in the right proportion. And I believe for the airlines, the internet is more useful than even for me.